Hey everybody, what's up? It's Joel, aka The Daily Guru, and it's time for another edition of Something Old, Something New. Today for Something Old, we're going back a few years to one of my favorite underground records. It's Telefon Tel Aviv and their album, Map of What is Effortless. Chances are you've never heard of this record, but the fact remains that it's one of the most blissfully beautiful albums ever recorded. While the album is most closely associated with that ambient, down-tempo sound, there are clear elements of jazz, hip-hop, soul, and blues all throughout the record. Yet, unlike most artists in the electronic genre, Telefon Tel Aviv show an amazing amount of range on every single song, and it gives the record a fantastic level of depth. From the deep whisper of what is was will never again, to the delicately melancholy I lied, to the strange bounce of my week beats your year, it's clear that this duo of programmers know absolutely no musical bounds. It's the way that so often the team are able to take more aggressive drum patterns and yet keep them in this more mellow, almost soft setting that makes the song so intriguing. It's also the fact that the overall orchestrations are some of the most beautiful textures and original sounds you'll find anywhere. From harps to large string sections to finger snaps, these guys are pushing the electronic genre more than almost any of their peers did, and that's why you have to hear this record. Yet it's also the fact that Telefon Tel Aviv brought in a number of different vocalists, and they were each able to seamlessly fit into their respective tracks that vaults this album into a category all its own. I simply can't overstate how universally appealing Map of What is Effortless really is. Even for those who have little to no experience within the ambient genre, this album is intoxicating and absolutely addictive from the very first listening. So go out right now and get yourself a copy of Telefon Tel Aviv's Map of What is Effortless. Thank me later. Alright everybody, today for something new, we're going to check out the new release from Odonis Odonis, and it's called Hollandaze. To be perfectly truthful, the music on this album is actually a bit difficult to describe. It's kind of an odd mixture between Husker Du, early Nine Inch Nails, and maybe a bit of Jesus and Mary Chain. To tell you the truth, it's a bit difficult to pinpoint exactly what makes this album good or bad, and after listening to the record a few times, I think it's because Hollandaze represents perfection in mediocrity. This album isn't really good, and it's not really bad, it just sort of is. Don't get me wrong, this is definitely a cool album, but in a way maybe it's so unique that not a single aspect manages to stand out as anything special. There are good hooks, there's definite creativity in the way that he approaches music, and it's the way that you can hear elements of surf rock under the fuzz that make it a very cool musical fusion. Balancing that out though is the fact that the vocals, well, they really don't add much to this record at all. Maybe if they were a bit less buried, a bit more intelligible, they might be able to push this record to a higher point. While most critics have been tripping over themselves to bow down before this record, I honestly believe it's because this is so far apart from the normal cookie cutter rock and roll we've been hearing lately that they were just glad to hear something new. But as we all know, just because it's different, it doesn't mean it's a great album. At the same time, I'll say it again, this is not a bad record. So on the buy it or borrow it, I think it's safe to say that this is about as solid a borrow it as you can find. So that's what I got for you guys today. I hope you dug it. If you did, go ahead and click subscribe, go ahead and leave a comment, go ahead and click like, whatever you want to do. Remember that if you leave a comment here or you share this video via my Facebook page, you're automatically entered to win 4 of the albums I recommend throughout the month at the end of the month. If you want to email me, you can do that at thedailyguru@gmail.com, and check out my website where every single day I'm talking about the greatest music in all of history at thedailyguru.net. If you want to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Tumblr, you can do that right here, and we'll see you guys again next week.